crafty friends, it's Chris from Daily Dose of DIY, and today I'm going to show you how to make these fun Nativity Luminaries with our Cricut machine. I've got the free SVG file for you. We're going to get right to it. Let's go over to my craft table and see what we need to make these. Okay, so to make our lanterns, we're going to need some black cardstock. You can choose any color you want actually, but you're going to need 2 sheets, 8.5 by 11 at least, for each luminary. You're also going to want some lights. I've used fairy string lights. I also have these LED puck lights that work great too. And I will direct link you to everything I bought on Amazon down below. Tissue paper you'll need, that I just got from Walmart or the dollar store or wherever sells tissue paper. We'll need some tacky glue, maybe some tape, and some scissors, and of course your Cricut and your Cricut cut mat. You're also going to need the SVG design for this luminary, which I have for free over on my website. So let's go there next and I'll show you how to grab that. Okay, we're over here on my website, dailydoseofdiy.com, and what you're going to want to do is come up here to the menu and go to the library. I have a library full of free SVG files for you guys to use, including this one for the Nativity Luminary. There we go. If you are already a member, it's totally free. So if you're already a member, go ahead and click the Enter the Free Resource Library button. If you don't have your password yet, just fill out your first name and email address, and then the password will be emailed to you right away. So we're going to enter the library. Looks like I already had my password entered, but if it will prompt you for a password if you haven't entered it before. And we'll scroll down to SVG Files. I keep everything in alphabetical order. At the top, you'll find my 12 Days of Christmas SVGs, but this Nativity is separate. So we're going to go down to N and find the Nativity Luminary SVG. Now, as soon as you click on that, especially if you're in a Chrome browser, you can see down here at the bottom, it downloaded on our downloads bar. So now it will be most likely in your downloads folder. So you want to go ahead and get that unzipped. And then we'll head over to Design Space and get it uploaded. To do that, we click over on the left menu, click the Upload button, and then we want to click Upload Image, and then you can either drag and drop your files here, or you can browse. We will browse and go through. Oh, mine's already up. Most of the time you'll go to the downloads folder and you'll find your download there. I probably shouldn't have clicked that. I have a lot of downloads. But we'll scroll on down to ends again and find the Nativity Luminary .svg file. Click open, and there it brings up the image. There are 2 on there. I have them double stacked, so you can only see one. On the next screen, we're going to select that again, so the green square goes around it, and come down over here to the bottom where it says Insert Images in green. That brings it into Design Space. And if you look over here on the right on the Layers menu, you can see there is in fact 2 papers. You're going to need at least 8.5 by 11. I'm using 12 by 12s because that's what I have in black. You don't need to do anything else. It's ready to go. Just click the Make It button, and that will put it on your mats for you. I'm going to click Continue. If you have, let's see, I'm hooked up to my Explorer right now. So if you have a Cricut Explorer, go ahead and set your dial to cardstock. If you have a Cricut Maker, it will ask you on the screen what you're cutting. Choose cardstock, and then we're going to go back over to my craft table and get this cut. Okay, we're going to get the cardstock loaded up on our cut mat now. And I always just take the corner of the cardstock and line it up into the corner of your cut mat. Make sure it's square, and then we're going to smooth it down. insert the mat into your Cricut machine. Get it up here a little bit more. And make sure the mat goes under these two tabs. And my load button is already flashing, so it's ready to go. We're gonna load the mat, and then this should flip over. It will start flashing when it's ready. Click that, and we're gonna get it cut. Okay, it's finished cutting, so we're gonna go ahead and hit the unload mat button. To get your project off your mat, you want to flip your mat over and just let it peel off the mat. What we're doing is removing the mat from the project. And you're just going to need to go slow. Make sure we don't rip any of those letters or anything on the luminary. I am using a green standard mat because this mat is pretty well worn in. I'm sure you can see the cut lines on it from previous projects. If your mat is new though, you want to use the blue light grip mat for cardstock in most cases. If your mat is well used though, green will work. And to get these off, you want to try to pick the scraps, as many off with your fingers as you can. I know a lot of people use the scraper tool, which is okay, but Cricut recommends you don't do that because it just scrapes the fibers down into the mat and it makes it lose its stick faster. So it's a little tip to keep your mats healthy for a long time. So this is how this looks all cut out, and we're just going to load the mat with our second sheet, just like we did the first, and get our second sheet cut, and then we can get it put together. Okay, I have both luminaries cut out now, and we're going to get the tissue paper to cover the back. I did not include a cut file for the tissue paper, although you can use your cut tissue paper with your maker, I believe. I've never tried it. I always just think it would tear so easy. So you'll have to comment down below and let me know if you've ever cut tissue paper with your Cricut. But I just lay it over it and make little notches where I need to cut it, and then we can get this cut out. We need two, so I think I'm going to fold it in half. Okay, now it's cut. I want to let you know one thing. You want to make sure, this may sound silly, but you want to make sure you're gluing the tissue paper to the back. I did one where I glued it to the front. So you want to make sure you see your words backwards before you glue. And then you can use spray adhesive. I'm just using some Tacky Glue. Whatever you've got, just put a line or some around the edge. I found this sparkly tissue paper. It's got sparkles on it at the Dollar Tree, so it was just $1. And then we're going to place that, make sure it hits your glue spots. Looks like I missed over here. Will stay down after it dries. So I'll set this aside, let that one start drying, and do this one. Okay, so after your tissue paper is on, you'll see little cut lines here that I put in the file to make it easier to fold. So you just want to go to those lines, fold both of your sheets on those dotted lines that were cut. And now we're going to glue them together. So we're going to put one line of glue. This little fold tab is for them to glue together. So you can just line them up, sheet to sheet, and fold it down. I'm a little high. There we go. With tacky glue, you just want to hold it down a second, give it a chance to stick. It sticks much faster than like if you're using school glue or something like that. So once that tab's done, place a line of glue on your other tab. And stick it to the other end. Give it a few seconds to hold and we should be pretty good to go. Now we can get our fairy lights in there. The fun thing about the string fairy lights is you can tape them. That's what the tape's for, so that the light hits more wherever it is you want it. Like if you want them, some light to really be behind that star, which is usually what I do. You just apply a piece of tape there. And then you can go along and just tape the lights kind of wherever you want them to show through the tissue paper the most. Thank you so much for crafting with me today. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial on the Nativity Luminaries. Be sure to give me a thumbs up and like and subscribe to my channel for more fun Cricut crafts and tutorials. See you on the next one.